Derek, I want to hit the God of War news that
Me
you brought
too.
up as well.
So, we talked about, rumor was last week that it was going to be set in Egypt, which sounded really cool. And now they're doing this. Now the scuttlebutt is it's going to be a prequel before the first game. Here's my thing. If you're going to do this, go back to Greece, make it its own thing. And I had this idea churning in my head this morning, right? So
Okay.
we know, like, we both love God of War, like
Mhm.
Ascension aside, like even the PSP ports that they did, Chains of
Yeah.
Olympus, Ghost of Sparta were good,
Great.
especially Ghost of Sparta.
Mhm.
Um, but we both know that outside of 3, the story wasn't what brought you there. It was really the combat. Like, yes, the story had its moments mainly in God of War 3.
Yep.
But Kratos, we know, was a one-note character, all about anger, all about, Calliope, that screaming,
Calliope.
right, Ares, Zeus,
Yeah.
just screaming words, one word things.
He was pretty much Soldier Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you.
You.
Jeez. Zeus. But no, and then when we got the Norse duology, it was a complete overhaul of what we know God of War to
Yep.
be. Like, the story was intriguing. Kratos had depth as a character. The characters around him had very intriguing, stories to tell as well, and were integral to a lot of what happened in that Norse storytelling. I don't want them to take a step back.
Yep.
So my idea is, because Ascension was kind of like a prequel, but it also kind of took place in between, like, I think game 1 and game 2 or something
Yep.
like that. If you're going to do a prequel, still have that storytelling, but here's my pitch. My pitch is, do it before he made his pact with Ares, because that whole lead up to it,
Mhm.
he fought in this great battle and he was about to lose, and then that's when he called Ares. It's like, I'll be your servant, just give me the power to slay my enemies. Tell a story that, of him as like a father, like when he's with Calliope and his wife, building up, like him showing being a great Spartan general, and then have that great fight and end with him making his pact, and then end me being diabolical,
That's literally what I was going to suggest. Keep
and
going.
and with
Keep
and
cooking.
end it with him killing his family and then gaining the ashes and becoming the
Yep.
Ghost of Sparta.
I'm down for that. I feel like that is a great way to tell the story. Like, you can
Yes.
even tell, like, him, like, you start the game, him as a kid, him getting trained to be a Spartan warrior.
Yes.
Like, take some of the stories that we got at the very end of, um, like, when you're coming down from the giant mountain and he's
Yes.
talking about Atreus, like,
Oh yeah.
that sort of deal. And then you could take some things from, like, the DLC that we got and all of that.
Yes.
Like, just flesh those things out. I think it would be really cool to see those things in action in this game. And then, go from there, him rising up the ranks, him,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I think that would be dope. And then, of course, do what you said. I was like, if Derek doesn't go that far, we got to bring it to its conclusion.
Yes.
We got to get to that point. And yeah, I think
And
that would
we
be,
got it was explained in 1 and 2, and like it was explained throughout the whole series. Like, he did slay his family, like in the original trilogy. Like it showed him doing it. But
yeah,
I want to get that emotional impact of, like, going through whatever hallucination Ares did with him, to make him lure him back to his own city and murder his wife and child. Like, I want to feel that emotional impact. So again, I
and I'm
don't
the
mind.
dark one on the show. Just saying, I'm the dark one on the show. I'm
Listen,
just
man. Listen, man. Every dog has their day. I can get a little
woof.
dark too. You know. Um, if there's, never mind. I'm not going to. I almost went on a tangent. I'm not going to go there. I'll say that for after the show. Um, but no. When I saw this, my initial reaction was like, But we got so much progression in
Yeah,
the North. I don't want to step back, but if they integrate the storytelling that they've done
yeah,
from the Norse duology and take it back again, we acknowledge we love the original trilogy, but it had its flaws. And if you do a prequel to before he even became the Ghost of Sparta and the God of War, I am fine with that, because you can do better storytelling in that game than trying to rehash story beats that you've already created in the
Yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah, and like you could even it's like he's like younger kid coming up and all of this, but it's like you develop his character and then you set up because it is a heart-wrenching moment, but it kind of
Yeah,
breaks him,
right.
so you set up that moment, that payoff, because it's coming and everything,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's like he just goes into this whole, like, he's just more animalistic after that,
correct.
when he makes that pack and everything, like that dude is dead, you know what I mean, like that
Hmm.
loving husband, the
Correct.
person that cared about his troops, all of this, and as
Yeah,
soon as he makes that pact because he doesn't want to lose and die, that's when, like, Kratos as we know him beforehand
correct.
is dead and the monster has been created.
Right.
I think that would be dope, Derek. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
uh
So
yeah, I'm down for that.
Corey Barlog, hit us up.
Yeah, yeah. We'll give you our bank account. But I do hope we do get Egypt, and I hope we do get like different places. Like, dude, how cool would it be Kratos going to like Japan and fighting Yokai?
Oh my god. I mean, and again, in the 2018 game, when they get to the room in the World Tree, they show all the mythologies that Tyr has been to, that because
Yep.
they were teasing what they could do down the road after the Norse story has been told. So do it, because I know the Chinese or I think the Chinese or Japanese was
Yeah.
teased, Egypt was teased. I know the Hindu religion was teased. So you have options.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that would be super cool to see. It can only go up from here, and I know the bar
Correct.
is just going to keep getting raised over and over and again.